into the strange and wild interior of darkest Africa, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer sent a motion picture company on safari. Here in its original setting, where no white woman had ever been before, was filmed the story of primitive savagery, of incredible danger. You'll thrill to the magnificent love story of the flaming redhead and the handsome jungle adventurer, as together they fight their hazardous way through a vast land of mystery and excitement in their relentless quest for the fabulous fortune that rests in King Solomon's mines.
To my knowledge, no white man has been near the Calawanas for 5 years. Nowadays, they're feared as much by the natives as they are by the whites. We're going to have trouble getting our own boys to get that far.
How long will it take us to get there?
Weeks, months perhaps, I don't know. I've never taken a woman on safari with me before.
Have I been a handicap?
The fun hasn't started yet.
When it does, I'm sure we'll all enjoy it.
What do you think you're doing? You had no intention of letting us leave this place alive. You're going to get us out of here before those fellows outside start warming up and carrying out your orders.
King Solomon's mine.
Disney, whose artistry marked a new era in motion picture entertainment, now sets a new milestone with his first all-live action feature, Treasure Island, the story which thrilled 200 million readers throughout the world. Only Walt Disney could bring to realistic life, and with such dramatic impact, Robert Louis Stevenson's memorable characters. Long John Silver, portrayed by that world-famous star, Robert Newton.
We can take this ship right now.
Then I say cut their throats. And I say there'll be no killing till I gives the word. Shipmates.
Shipmates.
Bobby Driscoll, the 1949 Academy Award winner for his outstanding performances in The Window and So Dear to My Heart, plays Jim Hawkins, the boy who faced 1,000 dangers.
One more step, Mr. Hands, and I'll blow your brains out.
Oh! Yes, they're all here. Pompous Squire Trelawney, Captain Smollett, Dr. Livesey, the murderous Black Dog, rum-swigging Billy Bones, the villainous Blind Pew, and poor Ben Gunn, marooned on Treasure Island.
Does it hurt you?
Sometimes.
It will never hurt again.
I started into the canyons that were the beginning of Cochise's country. I never felt so lonely and so dog-scared in my life. For 3 days, I climbed higher into the mountains in which the Apache stronghold was hidden. On the afternoon of the 3rd day, I was nearing the entrance to the stronghold. Juan had told me what to look for. I knew then that Cochise had given me permission to enter. I kept my hands visible, away from my weapons, and I tried to look at ease.
From the thrilling pages of world-renowned author C.S. Forester's story, and filmed in the jungles and at the headwaters of Africa, the Dark Continent, in all the magnificence of color by Technicolor, comes the most exciting adventure ever screened.
You promised you'd go down the river.
There's death a dozen times over down the river.
You promised.
Well, I'm taking my promise back.
Filmed in the treacherous wilds of Africa, and directed by John Huston, winner of a double Oscar Award for The Treasure of Sierra Madre. Against a savagely thrilling background, 2 people live a reckless adventure. Charlie Allnuts, lazy, gin-swilling, no better than he should be. And Rosie, straight-laced Rosie Sayers, who learns about life, all about it.
Well, I ain't sorry no more, you crazy, psalm-singing, skinny old maid.
2 people thrown together against their wills
Get out.
in a stirring and pulse-pounding story known in fact or fiction.
Waiting for the supper, miss. I'm the captain, that's who. And I ain't taking you along. You'd only be in my way.
I suppose I was in your way going down the rapids. Then what you said to me back there on the river was a lie about how you never could have done it alone and how you lost your heart and everything. You liar. I never dreamed that any experience could be so stimulating.
Ivanhoe brings to the screen a romance that has grown immortal. An epic of gallantry, intrigue, and adventure in the tumultuous days of England's crusaders. Sir Walter Scott, the great storyteller, gathers his characters together at the tournament at Ashby. Here for the sports of chivalry come Rowena, Saxon queen, on the arm of Cedric, and Isaac of York with his daughter, the beautiful Rebecca. Here too come Locksley and his forest outlaws, and the brave, preening Norman knights. It was a bitter day for strife-torn England until the groaning crowd beheld a mysterious Black Knight, black from boot to plume. There he was, spurring into the lists to champion the innocent, to defend the right.
This knight is no stranger. Only one Saxon could ever fight like that. Sir Ivanhoe?
Ivanhoe.
Ivanhoe.
Ivanhoe. I knew.
Knew what, Rowena?
That you were safe and that you were alive and that you loved me still.
Ivanhoe, here in England. You told me he was dead.
He should be, and he shall be when he and I meet again.
I love you. And I must not feel it. And yet I love you, Ivanhoe.
Hold, my lords! I, Wilfred of Ivanhoe, do challenge the judgment of this tribunal. In the name of the accused, I demand that her guilt or innocence be determined in the eyes of God by wager of battle.
On the third day hence, let the wager of battle be fought in the lists at Ashby. To the death.
Rebecca, if I withdraw now, Ivanhoe wins by default, and you both will live, while I shall fall from grace, a degraded knight without fame and without honor. All this I would endure if you would say, Bois Gilbert, I turn from Ivanhoe to you.
And Ivanhoe is the inspirational force and drive of truly great drama. For it is the meeting of two fierce tides, of scheming, ambitious men. And against these, the valiant, who fight for kings and a lady's favor. One stately and stirring event follows another, holding you wrapped in thrill, but none quite so much as the storming of Torquilstone Castle. Normans, Saxons, each man dealing his thunderous blows with the strength of 10 ordinary warriors. Hand to hand, and man to man.
This is Harry Street. His life, like his loves, had been a sin. In the white heat of Kilimanjaro with Helen. In the pleasure-mad blue of the Mediterranean with Liz. In the bittersweet of Parisian nightlife with Cynthia, whose lips were warm red wine.
I'm Cynthia Green.
Sin, that's nice.
You better take this from me. I sometimes drink too much.
Well, everything's fair in the pursuit of happiness.
Oh, I'm not completely idle. I pose sometimes.
And what my maiden aunt calls the all-together.
Sometimes.
We all have to make whatever we can out of what we were given.
I thought that if I was here with you, and your work came well, and you were happy here again with me here, don't make me lose all my pride.
This is the first time I've ever really seen you.
I shouldn't love you too much. I'm awfully bad for you. We're so hopelessly in love, and we can't make it work.
Oh, that's nonsense, darling.
I shouldn't even have wanted to have your child. It wasn't fair to you.
Soon you will see the greatest best-selling novel of our generation from the studio that gave you From Here to Eternity. The motion picture screen explodes with unprecedented power as the two masters of imagination, Jules Verne and Walt Disney, join to bring you a shattering new experience in entertainment. Read by countless millions, translated into 18 languages, this classic adventure is a story of measureless scope, fraught with fantastic beauty and danger. Four great stars give the spark of life to its leading characters in a series of inspirational performances. Kirk Douglas as the master harpooner, Ned Land.
Got a whale of a tale to tell you, lads, a whale of a tale or two, about the flapping fish and the girls I've loved on nights like this with the moon above. A whale of a tale and it's all true, I swear by my tattoo.
James Mason as Captain Nemo, who held the destiny of the world in his hands.
The real story of the ocean depths begins where you left off. Wonders that defy my powers of description. The secrets that are mine alone.
Paul Lucas as Professor Aronnax of the Paris Institute.
I asked you to leave, Professor. You also asked me ashore to show me man's inhumanity to man. Why? To justify this, you are not only a murderer, you are a hypocrite. The proof lies out there. You call that murder?
Peter Lorre as Conseil.
Sure we're friends. Go ahead, hit me. Hit me. You mean that? Sure, go ahead. You can't miss it. Now we are friends.
The most vivid scenes from the novel become unforgettable on the screen. The luxurious interior of the submarine, the revelation of the hidden mysteries of the deep.
We do our hunting and farming here.
Underwater?
The sea supplies all my wants.
The mighty harvests of the ocean kingdom. And the strange creatures that menace the intruders on the ocean floor. And after a safe return, the memorable dinner party.
It's remarkable. This tastes like veal.
The flavor deceives you. That is fillet of sea snake.
I guess this isn't lamb.
That is brisket of blowfish with sea squirt dressing, basted in barnacles.
What is it?
It's a recipe of my own. Sauté of unborn octopus.
And to stay in your memory as the most thrilling sequence ever photographed in motion picture history, the terrifying battle with the giant squid.
It is the night of May the 16th, 1943. In all the skies of Europe at war, one squadron only is flying.
Enemy coast ahead.
Their task, to breach the great dams of the Ruhr Valley. Tonight, they are 617 Squadron. Tomorrow, the world will know them as... with the Dambusters in action, boring at treetop height into the heart of the Third Reich. The human drama which preceded this incredible raid reveals the inspiration and obsession of one man with an idea,
But surely they must realize if we can burst those dams and flood the Ruhr Valley, they can save the thousands of bombs that they're dropping on the factories there.
I can only pass on to you the decisions of the ministry, Mr. Wallace. Of course, it might help if you could get the support of somebody with personal influence.
What do you suggest?
Why not go and see Sir Edward Hughes?
I've seen him twice.
Also George Burnett?
I've seen him 3 times. When I got back to Weybridge, they sent for me and told me that the people in Whitehall had decided that I was making a nuisance of myself, wasting everybody's time, including my own, and that the whole thing was dropped.
What did you do?
Well, the only thing I could do, I resigned.
Barnes Wallis is the man who refused to admit defeat, who saw his faith rewarded in triumph. Gibson is leader of this death-defying mission.
I found Nigger outside. Can I send him a drink?
Yeah, providing you're not giving more than a pint.
And don't drink it too quickly or you'll get hiccups.
His exploits this night were to earn him the highest award for valor, the Victoria Cross.
Well, the training's over. For obvious reasons, you've had to work without knowing your target or even your weapon. But tonight, you're going to have a chance to hit the enemy harder and more destructively than any small force has ever done before.
This is a $9 million, 275,000-pound Atlas Agena rocket. Today, it circles the globe at a speed of over 18,000 miles an hour in little more than 80 minutes.
Is this any way to see the world? It's a wonderful world if you'll only take the time to go around it.
Are you formally challenging me to undertake a journey around the world in 80 days?
I said this is absurd.
Gentlemen, I have on deposit at Baring's Bank the sum of £20,000, and I'm willing to wager any or all of it upon the same contention, namely that I can complete a tour of the world in 80 days.
Michael Todd's Around the World in 80 Days. We make all the stops. 2 oceans. 5 seas. 8 ways to travel. 16 countries. 48 fantastic stars and 52 Best Picture awards.
I'm in pursuit of a very cunning, very slippery criminal.
Who?
Phileas Fogg, Esquire of Savile Row, London.
Pile everything that will burn into the stokehole. Decks, masts, everything, including the lifeboats. Now what is the delay?
Indians, but they're peaceful Indians.
Getting there is all the fun. Take her along. Take everybody along. Every seat is first class, and we've got enough seats for everybody. This is the way to travel. It is a wonderful world if you'll take the time to go around it. Michael Todd's Around the World in 80 Days.
4, 3, 2, 1, fire! 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 4, 3, 2, 1, fire
since the beginning of time, man has pitted himself against the power of the sea to learn its secrets, to solve its mysteries. Many stories have been told of ships and the men who sail them, of sea beasts and the men who hunt them. But none has captured the imagination through the years so much as Herman Melville's immortal story of Captain Ahab, who lost his very soul in the bitterness of vengeance against the great white whale, Moby Dick.
You're to look for the white whale. A whale as white and as big as a mountain of snow. To chase that white whale on both sides of land and over all sides of earth till he spouts black blood and rolls dead out.
Ahab, think what they're doing. I beg thee, think.
Set the mainsail!
No, sir, no.
Mr. Starbuck, are you opposing me? If so, I'll have you know that there's one God that is Lord over the earth and one captain over the Pequod.
A whale can stave in the ribs of the biggest ships, swallow whole crews, pick its teeth with the oars. Mind, lad, if God ever wanted to be a fish, he'd be a whale. Believe that, he'd be a whale.
Did you see him, men?
The 14th of April, 1912. A night to remember. A night when the largest, most luxurious liner of her day was speeding across the North Atlantic on her maiden voyage. No expense had been spared to make this ship a symbol of man's final victory over nature. Her first-class passengers were the very cream of society, the aristocrats from Europe and millionaires homeward bound to America. In the steerage class, everyone enjoyed their own kind of boisterous fun. Then there were the second-class passengers and the crew. 2,208 happy, confident people speeding across a flat, calm sea in a ship that everyone knew was unsinkable. Absolutely unsinkable. The ship was called the Titanic.
What did you see?
Iceberg, get ahead, sir!
Kenneth More, whose warm, compelling sincerity holds him high in the hearts of cinema-goers all over the world, as Lightoller, the second officer on a ship whose destruction shook the very foundation of man's progress and marked the end of an era.
How many people are there on board?
2,200 or more. And room in the boats for... how many?
1,200.
This is the epic drama of the greatest disaster in the history of the sea.
Goodbye, my dear son.
Here, for the first time, is the story of that night. A night when 2,200 men, women, and children were faced with a terrible fact. The fact that most of them were going to die. No work of fiction could ever contain such incredible twists of fate or leave such terrible questions unanswered to haunt the mind. Why did that last ice warning never reach the captain? What happened on the ship that stopped within sight of this struggle with death, but didn't save a single life? No writer of thrillers could ever achieve such agonizing suspense.
Sir! Sir! What the devil's going? Haven't you learned to knock before you come in here?
It's a distress call, sir, from the Titanic. She's sinking. Carpathia, sir. She's making 17 knots and should be with us about 3:30. That'll be too late.
Generation after generation of readers have been thrilled by Ben-Hur. No book save the Bible has ever been so widely read. Now, as a motion picture, Ben-Hur has inspired enthusiastic acclaim in every corner of the earth. In New York, in London, in Tokyo, and in Hollywood, the most honored motion picture in Academy Award history. Yes, the spectacle, the color, the excitement, the human drama of Ben-Hur has swept the world. Ben-Hur is many things to many people. It transports you to strange, faraway places, to scenes of pageantry and revelry. Ben-Hur stuns with the impact of its violence and thundering action. Yet, it can lift your spirit to the skies. But with all its spectacle and pageantry, Ben-Hur is a story of people. Their conflicts, their loves. The story of Judah Ben-Hur, the prince who became a slave and dared the evil might of the conqueror.
I tell you, the day Rome falls, there will be a shout of freedom such as the world has never heard before.
Proud Quintus Arrius was a stern enemy.
Why did you save me?
Yet, when Ben-Hur saved his life, he became a staunch and grateful friend. There was the beautiful Esther, for whose love Ben-Hur defied an empire. There was Messala, the power mad, once Ben-Hur's boyhood friend. Now his deadliest enemy.
You kill me and your mother and sister will die today.
And there was the lusty Sheik Ilderin, ruler of a wild, exotic land.
One wife, one god, that I can understand, but one wife that is not civilized. It is not generous.
All that you have read about Ben-Hur, all that you have heard about Ben-Hur, is surpassed by the actuality.
must be true. A man took some tools and went where no human being had ever set foot. Alone. Went into the interior of the earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is James Mason. Come along with Pat Boone and me, Arlene Dole, Diane Baker, and Gertrude the Duck, and discover sights and sounds and wonders no living man has ever witnessed before, filmed in the incomparable magic of CinemaScope. We'll take our leave of civilization on the bleak, barren wastes of Iceland, peer in awe at the bottomless crater of an uncharted volcano, make the perilous descent into the unknown. You'll pioneer with us through countless miles of trackless labyrinths, discover huge subterranean caverns never beheld by human eye, become lost in the weird underground maze. You'll find yourself engulfed in grotesque, petrified jungles, marvel at the fantastically beautiful quartz grotto, tumble into cascading salt beds, escape from hissing steam caves, behold the staggering underground ocean. You'll encounter breathtaking dangers beyond belief, here at the center of the earth.
Stop. Fair warning. You'll never find your companions or your way out. You need me as much as I need you. Stop and come back.